Hello science fans and welcome to SHE-ensya's Corner. Here, we kick back, relax, answer some of your questions, and talk about science events both great and mundane in the life of your resident Filipina scientist. It's October 11, science fans. I am Shauna Camille Vinci Cruz Abeledo, your resident Filipina scientist, and welcome to episode 4 of SHE-ensya's Corner. So this week in quarantine, we have announcements from the Nobel Committee. For the 2020 Nobel Prize for Physiology or Medicine, we have Drs. Harvey J. Alter, Michael Houghton, and Charles M. Rice for their discovery of the hepatitis C virus. Science fact! The hepatitis C virus is a blood-borne virus, and the most common mode of infection is through exposure to small quantities of infected blood. This could be through unsafe injection practices, transfusion of unscreened blood, and maybe even sexual practices that lead to exposure to blood. The incubation period for hepatitis C ranges from 2 weeks to 6 months. Following initial infection, approximately 80% of people do not exhibit any symptoms. Those who are acutely symptomatic may exhibit fever, fatigue, decreased appetite, nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, dark urine, gray-colored feces, joint pain, and jaundice. The hepatitis C virus is also the main cause for liver cancer. Through the research of Drs. Alter, Houghton, and Rice, efficient testing of the virus is now possible, and antiviral medication can cure 95% of people who are infected. Moving forward for our awardees for the 2020 Nobel Prize for Physics. We have Roger Penrose, Reinhard Genzel, and Andrea Ghez for their discoveries that have improved understanding of the universe, including work on black holes. Science fact! A black hole is a region of space-time where gravity is so strong that nothing, not even the smallest particles, even electromagnetic radiation, not even light, can escape from it. Roger Penrose was able to show that Albert Einstein's general theory of relativity should result in black holes. The general theory of relativity is the geometric theory of gravity published by Albert Einstein in 1915. It provides a unified description of gravity as a geometric property of space and time, and in particular, the curvature of space-time is directly related to the mass, momentum, and energy of the matter and/or radiation according to the Einstein field equations. And though I cannot confess to fully understand this theory, what I am a little bit familiar with is that if you have a compact enough mass, it can actually distort space-time in order to form a black hole. Poetically enough, US astronomer Andrea Ghez and German astronomer Reinhard Genzel discovered that the center of our very own Milky Way galaxy is a black hole called SGRA*. And finally, we go on to our 2020 Nobel Prize awardees for chemistry. We have Emmanuelle Charpentier and Jennifer A. Doudna for their work on the development of CRISPR-Cas9, a method for genome editing. Science fact! CRISPR-Cas9 modification is adopted from a naturally occurring genome editing system in bacteria. This is when viruses capture the genetic material of certain viruses, cut them up, and transform them into a CRISPR array that helps the bacteria remember the virus. CRISPR is then used for gene editing by researchers by creating a small piece of RNA with a short guide sequence that attaches to a specific target sequence of DNA. The RNA binds to the Cas9 enzyme, causing it to cut the DNA at the targeted location. Once the DNA is cut, researchers use the cell's own DNA repair machinery to make changes to the DNA by replacing an existing segment with a customized DNA sequence. Two things make this award particularly awesome for me. First is that we have a badass team of amazing women scientists who are now inspiring young women and young individuals across the gender spectrum to go into STEM. And second, it brings gene editing to the forefront of discussions once again, and this time in a more positive light. I truly believe that the creation of genetic engineering technologies is the key in finding sustainable solutions to our current challenges in food production, as well as creating cures, not just treatments, for a lot of genetic disorders. But due to lack of proper science communication during the era that genetic engineering was born, the technology has instead received a lot of undeserved criticism and fear. If you're interested to learn more about existing technologies in gene editing and the truth behind GMOs, please check out our videos called GMOs Unmasked. I'll put a link at the end of this video and also at the description box below. Now this week on the Why series, we tackled one of the requests from our viewers, which is about aliens. And then in 2015, we had the viral report of lights forming V-shapes in the Pampanga night sky. The alleged UFO was sighted on the evening of April 26, 2015. The video shows motionless lights in a V formation in the sky. My first encounter with the UFO sighting was as a kid in Bataan. I think I was either grade 2 or grade 3 then. And I remember being early in school. And very few classmates of mine or teachers were already there. Apparently, a lot of them were delayed going to school because of a UFO sighting or even landing, I'm not sure, that happened in Dinalupihan, Bataan. So, by the time everybody eventually came into school, there were so many stories of a UFO landing on a rice field, of people actually seeing it land, and so on and so forth. So, it was a pretty crazy morning, and by the next day, more people were claiming to have seen the UFO. Series Throwback! Some of you might be familiar with the TV series Roswell, which debuted in 1999. In broad strokes, the series begins when a cute high school student saves the life of a teenage waitress. Surrounded by cliques of clever angst-filled classmates, the two form a bond that threatens the survival of a secret universe involving superhuman powers. I think I was able to watch all episodes of this series when it was aired in the Philippines until it was cancelled in 2002. But of course, the actual events in Roswell is completely different from this TV series. Conspiracy alert! Roswell, a city in New Mexico, was a location of military importance from 1941 to 1967. Roswell, New Mexico became popular because of an alleged UFO crash that happened either in June or July of 1947. An actual vehicle apparently crashed upon the desert, and together with it was found alien bodies. Since the late 1970s, the incident has been the subject of intense controversy and of a conspiracy theory regarding a classified program named Mogul. Many UFO proponents maintain that an alien craft was found and its occupants were captured, and that the military then engaged in a cover-up. In recent times, the business community of Roswell, New Mexico has capitalized on people's interest of UFOs, extraterrestrials, and other conspiracy theories. It is in fact in our bucket list to visit Roswell because of this. This week, we also featured 3 amazing sheroes who are immersed in male-dominated STEM fields.
Hello science fans, I'm Maria Marquez Elemos. I am a chemical engineer and a sustainability advocate.
Good day to all the science fans. I'm Dr. Rosita Roldancan, a somewhat retired pre-hospital emergency medical care physician who is currently teaching biology in De La Salle University, Manila. And hopefully, once the pandemic is under control, I'm still part of the faculty of the Emilio Aguinaldo College School of Medicine.
Hi science fans, my name is Maria Angelica Junas Fandino, but you can call me Majal, and I am a future civil engineer.
It is quite a privilege and a responsibility to be the conduit for the stories of our amazing sheroes. And sometimes a single episode is not enough to actually feature all of them. But due to the amazing and interesting nature of some of Dr. Rosie's stories, I would like to feature more of them in this episode of SHE-ensya's Corner.
During my childhood, aside from Tupperwares, Mothers were usually compelled to buy encyclopedia sets and other hardbound trivia books sold by door-to-door salespersons. That was God's hands pushing me to my destiny.
This is so iconic for me because as a child, I learned how to read through these old encyclopedias. The old book smell would transport me to the pyramids of Egypt, the ruins of Angkor Wat, and the old temples found in Latin America. They made me realize how big the world is and how interesting other cultures are, and that we actually have a world that is worth exploring.
When my professor asked us what we wanted to be in the future during one classroom activity, I remember it was first year, first term in the LSU. I told her I wanted to be a pioneer. She then asked what kind of a pioneer. Honestly, I answered, I don't know. I just wanted to be a pioneer of something. She must have thought that I was talking nonsense. But looking back 25 years later, I think I stuck true to my answer.
And I guess that's a challenge for us women, to be pioneers, to carve out our own path in our current male-dominated society, until we create a future where women, heck all genders of the spectrum, won't have to fight for equality.
Hindi ka babae lang, babae ka.
And with that, we move on to Q&A. The question I've been receiving a lot since yesterday night was, why is SHE-ensya's Corner not available yet? And the primary reason for that is since Friday, I've been in a lot of pain because of an impacted tooth. Science fact! An impacted tooth is a tooth that, for some reason, has been blocked from breaking through the gum. Sometimes, a tooth may be only partially impacted, which is, in my case, meaning it has started to break through. Oftentimes, impacted teeth cause no obvious symptoms or are only discovered during a routine x-ray at the dentist's office. Since my impacted tooth is causing me a lot of pain, it's already scheduled for removal sometime within next week. So right now, I'm in a lot of pain medication and also with antibiotics. It causes me to get dizzy every once in a while, but it has allowed me to finally get to speak because I was unable to do that within the last 2 days. So I'll be doing advanced recording of some lectures and lessons to prepare for the possible downtime that I will have after my surgery. So that's it for SHE-ensya's Corner this week. I'm feeling my tooth hurting me again, so it's time for another dose of medicine. But if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please don't hesitate to send us a message through any of our social media accounts. And speaking of social media, please follow SHE-ensya on Facebook and also in Instagram. Drop by our website at www.sheensya.com. You can also follow my personal IG account at shauna.abiledo for behind the scenes of shooting SHE-ensya and also some pictures of our cute cats. I hope you were able to learn something from our episode of SHE-ensya's Corner today. If you did, I hope you can give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to our channel. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please don't hesitate to message me, your resident Filipina scientist, in the comments section below. Thank you very much, and see you around!